Belle with a Simple Money Project here with your 1 minute market update. The market was pretty flat today, so instead of talking about stock, I want to talk about bonds. Please don't scroll away. This is really interesting, I promise. Earlier this month, the White House announced tariffs on just about every country in the world, and the stock market fell about 11% in 2 days, which is a relatively normal response to such a drastic change in global policy. But something abnormal happened at the same time. Usually, when we see the stock market dropping, we see the demand for bonds and U.S. treasuries rise. This is called a flight to safety, where people sell equities, stocks, and buy bonds. But this time, we didn't see that. Instead, we saw demand for U.S. bonds fall, just like on the stock side. More people were selling than buying. The question is, who's been selling their U.S. Treasury holdings and why? The most likely candidate is China. The White House is currently in a trade war with China, and they hold about $816 billion of U.S. debt. If China were to sell all or a large chunk of its holding of U.S. Treasury bonds, it would likely lead to several serious economic consequences for the U.S., including a rise in interest rates, a weaker dollar, and even more financial market instability. I want to stress that we don't know that it was China who was selling their treasury holdings. It could be investors as a whole are uncertain about the economic future of America and decided to sell. The bond market has calmed down some since the White House announced the 90-day tariff pause, but the U.S. Treasury market hasn't returned to pre-tariff levels, just like the stock side of the market, likely because there is still so much uncertainty. So, even though the trade war and the stock market are getting all the press, it's actually the bond market that economists are paying attention to and may actually be the indicator of where the U.S. economy is headed. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested, follow the Simple Money Project for daily market minutes where I touch on the highlights of what's happening in the market in as close to 1 minute as I can possibly get.